death would not have been instantaneous. The only thing that will explain or cause an instantaneous death is a severe injury to the brain or upper cervical spinal cord, meaning up here in the neck. Obviously, that was not the case here. So what the medical literature tells us, and in my training and experience, that you have about 15 to 30 seconds of reserve of oxygen in your body. So because of the organs that were hit, she could have potentially remained conscious for anywhere between 15 to 30 seconds. That's an estimate. It certainly could have been shorter, and it could have been a little bit longer.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor. Thank you, Dr. Hawes.
Good afternoon, Dr. Hawes.
Good afternoon, sir.
Doing okay up there?
I think so.
I don't have much to ask you. I do want to note that in your report, you report on the first page that the body was normally developed and well nourished. Is that
Yes.
true? Okay. And we've been talking. You talked about the anatomical position. So that's what MEs use everywhere, so that everybody knows what posture they're talking about. Right? It's the same across.
Yes, sir. It's so we can have a standard frame of reference when we're referring to different locations on the body.
And if we tell you that what we believe the evidence shows that there was a TV remote that has a bullet defect in it between her hand and her chest, that wouldn't surprise you.
No, sir, it wouldn't.
Okay. And do you have the measurement from, I guess you would measure from the midline?
Yes, sir.
To that hand injury, or can you do that? It has to be from the chest.
So the measurements that we give as standard is below the top of the head, so down this way, and then to the right or left of midline. So if you have an imaginary midline right down the middle, we'll measure either to the right or left of that midline, either on the front or back of the body.
And on that chest wound, the entry wound, can you tell us what the measurement from the midline was?
Yes. On the chest, the entrance wound was 3 1/4 inches left of anterior midline.
And so you don't know how wide her body was across the chest, do you? You have that measurement?
No, sir.
And this rod is an approximation.
It is absolutely approximation because number one, this doll is obviously a very different size and shape, and number two, it's just impossible to put the rod in to be exactly the same. So it's just for demonstration, for an approximation of where the bullet path was.
And that bullet path just tells us where the bullet struck her body on entry and where that bullet struck her body on exit, and the movement through the body, right?
Yes, sir. And to be clear, the bullet hit rib, which is bony, and if it hit the remote control, which is again another hard plastic thing, the wound path could have been deflected, which would change the normal trajectory if it had not hit something that was hard. So in other words, the bullet could have been deflected and changed that where the exit wound is.
And even though this is just an approximation, the other problem is if I were to tell you that the evidence appears to show she was lying on a couch on her side, then this looks a little different, and it looks different again depending on how far she's leaning back or how far she's leaning forward, right?
There's nothing about this trajectory that would preclude her from being laying on the sofa. No, I mean this trajectory could absolutely be from her lying on the sofa.
Thank you, Doctor.
Yes, sir.
Any further questions? You may step down, Doctor. Be
Thank you,
careful
sir.
of the mannequin. Call your next witness. Ladies and gentlemen, the state of Tennessee has rested its case in chief. There are some matters I need to take up with the lawyers in your absence. We will get you back in here shortly. All rise for the jury.